Okay, so I grew up in Southgate. I come from a middle class family, functioning alcoholic grandparents, a teenage mother. My mother became LAPD when I was 4, and at the same time, my dad went to prison and became an Aryan brother. So I've always been I haven't ever felt like I was good enough or loved, and I always had a rebellion streak in me. Growing up was great. My grandparents had a sailboat. We did family things. No complaints. My mom moved me away to Oregon, and I was molested by her husband. At 10 years old, I testified in front of a grand jury in Washington, and that just made me completely sexually active, sexually open, and by 12 years old, I had 8 partners, and I was a runaway. I just started running away. There was no reason why. I went to McLaren Hall, I ran into some people, and I went from city of Southgate to South Central. And I got involved with a whole different crowd. Nobody went to school. I did spray paint. I ended up getting pregnant. I had my first child at 15. And I tried to get back normal, but I was just so intrigued by the lifestyle. It was just the lifestyle. It was being out with no responsibility. And I was like a diamond in the rough. I loved it. I loved the streets. I got put onto a gang at 16. And then by the time I was 18, I started smoking crack cocaine off with a pipe. And I was shunned from the Hispanics because I was smoking with blacks. And at 18, I got $20,000 from my college fund. I smoked it up in 3.5 weeks. I was doing cartwheels on Central Boulevard in my bra with a train of smokers behind me. Had no idea what I was doing. I was just living life at the moment. And I'll never forget the last day I had it. The last day, my last dollar, I was put out in the street and I couldn't get no one to buy me a jumbo jet. And that was the first time I was introduced to prostitution. I thought he was my boyfriend. He was really what you would call a gorilla pimp. He put me out on Central Boulevard, didn't even tell me what to charge. And he put me in a car with the trick. I asked the trick what to charge. He said $25. No condom. The fuck and suck. Wow. Okay, I needed some rocks, smoking crack. So that went on for a little while. I got beat up pretty bad by that guy that I thought loved me. And then, I endured I saw a lot of things out there that I didn't come from. I didn't come from ever being beat or, watching, just the lifestyle out there became very dangerous. So I kind of had to adapt. I caught my first case at 19. I was prostituting, selling drugs at the same time, and a gram of cocaine sent me to prison for the first time for 16 months. And I've been in and out of prison ever since. I've done about 15 years of my adult life in prison, all drug related. I only commit crimes when I'm on drugs. So let's see, back to that. I have 3 children, and one of my children is a product of a rape. I was raped by 2 guys out here. They said they were raping me because I walked by them like I was too good. They were kids. They were 16, I was about 24. Definitely used to walk by them. Wasn't my thing. I thought I was always doing the best thing I could, but the truth was I was addicted to the lifestyle for so long. It didn't matter what happened to me out there. I've been stomped out. I've been raped 3 times. I have a baby from a product of a rape. I've witnessed a homicide. I've been all involved in numerous scenarios that I don't even know why I made it out alive. But you know, it just made me who I am today. It made me stronger. It made me a survivor. It made me get it. You know, I don't judge anybody. But along the way, I lost a lot of things. I lost, my family doesn't talk to me at all. I still struggle with addiction. You know, I'm a 3-striker. I'm looking at time. And, you know, I'm still very much addicted to the lifestyle. It doesn't matter how dangerous it is out here or what I know could happen. It's just what it is. And, you know, being that I came from a good family, nobody really gets me out here, but I have a good heart. You know, I don't hurt anybody out here but myself. And it's not intentionally, it's just what happens out here. You know, I learned how to make money by stealing and robbing people, and got 3 strikes like that. And you know, I lost myself out here, and every time I try to get sober and reconnect with Jennifer, because they call me Iris out here, Iris the virus. There's still a part of me that, you know, when I'm sober, I'm uncomfortable in my skin. But when I'm out here and I'm under some kind of influence, it feels like that's who I am. And it's not the way that society wants me to be, but it's just how it is. I can stay sober for a year or 2, and then one day I'm just back. And it's all over again, you know? It's all over again. I just relapsed 2 weeks ago. I got a warrant right now. So, and it's normal. You know, it's the normal thing for me, and it's crazy. You know, I couldn't tell you why I have all my teeth or why I've never been stabbed or shot, other than I must have angels on my shoulders, because I have done some of the most awfulest things out here, and some of the most awfulest things have happened to me. And I've always just, it's always just been, you know, nothing really, I don't know, I shouldn't say nothing really bad. I guess people would say rapes are really bad. But compared to some of the other women I've seen out here, I just feel so blessed. I still have my sanity. I still have my my heart. You know, I'm disease free. But I have this side of me that just is a criminal, a real criminal, without a thought. And that's the scary part. You know, because the streets just made me somebody who I wasn't born to be. You know, I wasn't born to be like this. Would I change it? No. I like me. I like me. I like, I just, I could never see me being any other way. But you know, I transformed. I just say, I would just say I transformed. I have 8 brothers and sisters. You know, I have CHP brothers, and I have some military family, and, you know, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that's been to prison. I'm the only one that's on drugs. And I'm the only one that they call when something goes wrong, too, because they know I'm going to get it done. And, you know, this is just all I wish is that somebody could understand that it's really not a choice. You know, it's a disease. There's a disease, whether it's a disease of addiction or a disease of the lifestyle. There is something that calls me out here every time. It doesn't matter. I could be sitting at home with my family, watching TV in the nice house with a nice car with a great job, and then here I come, right back for no reason. And I pay the consequence every time by myself. So, anything else?
You feel like you belong here? I mean, like the streets are more comfortable, more you than a better life?
I feel like I belong here a lot more than I do when I'm on the so-called normal side. And there's no reason for that other than my self-esteem. Because I'm super intelligent. I can land a job in a minute. But I feel like on my forehead it says criminal, crackhead, prostitute. I just feel like that. I feel like it's embedded in me somewhere, you know, especially when they run my record. I look like crap on paper, you know, and it's really hard to make friendships with normies who've never experienced what I've experienced, because then it's always like, oh, that happened to you? It's not a sad story. It's just a story. And it just made me stronger. Everything that happened to me has just made me stronger. It doesn't define me or make me weak. It just made me a survivor. And it gave me a lot of insight. Because I know that my story one day, sometimes still does now, can help somebody else. You know, I see young girls out here, young girls like me. I didn't even know what crack cocaine was when I was smoking it. I had no idea. I thought there was one drug in the whole world. I thought it was heroin. And that was because I saw it on a movie. I was that naive. But I see young girls out here, and I see them getting, you know, pimped out or whatever, and I try to just tell them another way. There's just another way, you know, because I wish somebody would have told me. I wish somebody would have helped me. I wish just one person would have cared, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. I was a 16-year-old, little skinny, naive little white girl in the pits of South Central, and nobody cared. Nobody. So if that's my purpose, to be out here and be the one person that does care, then so be it.
Was the sexual abuse that you went through as a kid a big factor in where you're at today?
I definitely think that the sexual abuse made me very promiscuous, which made me have a sexual appetite that made sex on the streets enjoyable. You know,
and drugs go with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like, my story would be more like, I tried the prostitution thing for a very small time when I was made to. I'm more sexual just because I was loaded and I just wanted to do it. And it's such a blessing because, I mean, 70% of my friends have HIV. You know, how I didn't get it, I just wasn't in the circle of my friends. That's it. I always wanted people to think I wasn't doing it. So I was very discreet. You know, if you ever ask somebody, hey, did she prostitute? Nah, they'd never say yes. But I did, a whole lot. You know, I was just very discreet. Condoms, didn't use them. I don't know how. I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
What's been your lowest point?
My lowest point would be probably 2017 when I lost my, when they came and took my kids. And my partner at the time had been clean for 10 years and he went out right behind me. And I was just on a suicide mission. I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. And I didn't see any way to get my son back. And I didn't get him back. That was I just lost him last December. And that was my lowest point. Because when I had him, he's 7, but when I had him, nobody even knew I was pregnant. I was pregnant for 9 months and nobody in my life paid any attention to me, that they never even noticed I had a 9-month belly on me. Nobody. Nobody. I had him alone in a hospital with nurses, drug-free, because I had stopped using. Nobody noticed that part either. And, you know, I didn't have the tools to stay clean. I stayed clean for the first 3 years of his life, and then I got loaded. And, you know, once I'm out there, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I can take care of kids, because I can't. I don't do that. I don't bring my kids out here. My kids have never seen me loaded. You know, and I thought I was doing the best thing, but I wasn't. Because I have a 26-year-old right now who can't stand me because I was never around. You know, but I thought I was doing the best thing I could, you know? I just didn't want him down here. But yeah, my lowest point was definitely when I lost my little boy. Because I never thought I was, I always thought I was a little bit stronger than that. I always thought that, that I'd be able to do that for him. And that was just the one thing I couldn't do. Because I was clean 2 years. I was 30 days to getting full custody, and I relapsed. 30 days. It's crazy, right? Yeah. Thanks.
What do you think most people don't understand about drugs and addiction and the streets and all that?
I think that everybody thinks it's a choice. And it might be a choice when you're in it. But I'm telling you that it just sneaks on you. There's nothing in my brain that says I want to get up one day and leave my apartment and lose my job and lose my car and walk out on my boyfriend and leave my kids and never show up again. There's nothing about me that says it, but it happens every time. Every time. And I'm a runner because I can't face anybody. I'll show you my phone right now. They're all calling. I've never got clean any other way but going to jail. The same cell I was sitting at 18 is the same one I sit at 42. You know, what they don't understand is that I can't even say you don't stop until you want to, because I want to. I don't know. I don't know if there's a cure. I don't know if it's just for some people or if it's not. I don't know, because I've tried everything. I've tried everything. And it always leads back to the same place. And so at some point you kind of just go, dang, what am I trying for? You know? But
what are you afraid of at this point in your life?
Spend the rest of my life in prison. That's it. Because I'm on my way. I have an open case right now, and I have a 15-year joint suspension if I don't finish this program, and I've been running for 2 weeks again. Yeah. So that's not where I'm supposed to die at, in prison. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. I know I'll be in there alone. Because I messed up out here so bad, you know. My grandma, nobody even answers my calls anymore, let alone write a letter. So, yeah.
How much love did you feel as a child? You said your dad was a Aryan and
my dad,
mom was an alcoholic.
My dad went to prison, so I got a good dad, but my parents were young. My grandparents were functioning middle-class alcoholics, but I didn't feel any love. They bought me everything. I never wanted for anything, but the hugs and the I love yous, absolutely not. I got a B+ in school. It was like, why didn't you get an A? I did the ballet and the tap and the saxophone and the jazz, and it was always like, you turned wrong, you did this, you know. I didn't feel ever like I was ever good enough. to this day. I never feel like my best is good enough. And love? No, absolutely not. You know, my grandpa was probably the only one I felt loved me, and he died of cirrhosis of the liver when I was 14. So I really didn't want to be there after that. You know? And Dad, you know, my apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My dad was snorted coke and been to prison for robbery like me. You know, but we never saw eye to eye because he's an Aryan, and his beliefs are definitely not mine because my children are mixed. But, you know, it's just, childhood was financially fun, I guess. But, like, I love yous? Absolutely not. My mom saw me, my mom died when I was 20. She was 37, and I was in jail. And it was the first time she ever came to visit, and she knocked on the window before she left, and she was like, I love you. I was like, I love you? Weird. Like, ew, whatever. I didn't know it was the last time I was going to see her. She never said that before. I didn't even know what to say. If I would have only known, right? Yeah.
What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret? There's so many. My biggest regret would probably be leaving my children behind. Every time. Every time I left them behind. Or maybe always picking men over me. I always put a man before myself. And they were never worthy. Ever. I didn't even realize that until it was brought to my attention like last year. But I always put a relationship or somebody else in front of me. And then I'm the one that's without their kids or without their freedom, or that's my story. Yeah. Always put somebody first. I'm so loyal. I'm loyal to a fault. I am loyal to Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they don't even know my name. It's awful. I have been loyal to the wrong people. I have been loyal to people who have beat me and set me up and just sold me. Just things. Just I sit amongst people who have really, really dogged me out. And I'm just such a forgiving person that, or I think I'm just an adult now, because I'll tell them, like, remember when you did this? But who does that? Why would you want to be in the company of somebody who hurt you, especially when you were a young girl? You know? I always say they got old and I got grown.
Iris, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
The most important lesson? That everything passes. Nothing's permanent. Everything's temporary. Whether it's good or bad, it's gonna pass. So don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Just take it for what it is and enjoy it. Or let it go. But everything passes. Thank God.
All right. Iris, thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're so welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're so very welcome.